After arriving in the UK at the age of 6, living in the UK for 47 years, a brother, Winston, has been deported back to his country that he left when he was a child. This man is thousands away from his family in London. He came to the UK as a 6 years old child. He was brought to the country by family members who he was not related to. He's lived in the United Kingdom, a country that he calls his home. Sadly, this brother has found himself in a situation where a lot of people are still in shock. They cannot believe that a man who is more British than the average British person is now having to prove that he doesn't belong in this country. Good morning. The Lunch Club shares stories to inform and educate our audience. There is no substitute to information. That is the difference between success and failure. If you see any value in this content, you can support this channel by hitting the like button. Winston is the brother you are seeing on this screen now. His name is Winston. Winston came to the UK, as I said before, when he was just 6 years old. The people that brought him to the UK, they are not biologically related, but they brought him to the UK in 1966. That is when he arrived in the UK. He came from the Commonwealth. At that time, once you come from the Commonwealth country, automatically you are regarded as a British subject. This was before the changes of the Nationality Act of 1983, which then changed the rules, and you have to meet certain criteria for you to be able to consider yourself British. Winston did not have any problem. He calls the UK his home. He's well settled. In fact, it has been stated that Winston speaks with a South London accent, strong Cockney accent. This brother, one fateful day, Winston was coming back from work. There was a riot. That riot and Winston's action changed Winston's trajectory. People were vandalizing shops. Winston then wanted to help himself. He went to the shop. People were rioting. Winston went to one of the shops. They looted, they vandalized shops. Shops were ransacked. Winston then said he went to the shop and he said he regretted it. He went to the shop and helped himself with some lovely jewelries. That decision by Winston to try to help himself, in fact, to steal jewelries, is what now led to Winston's downfall. Meanwhile, when Winston first arrived in the United Kingdom in 1966, he was not in education. The people that brought Winston to the UK, they did not put him in education. So Winston was outside the system. There was no record that Winston came to the UK on that time. However, when Winston started having problems after he was involved in stealing, that is when the Home Office then said to this man, we need to see proof that you are in this country legally. Winston has worked in the construction trade for many years. When all this happened, he was arrested and asked to prove his identity. That is when Winston realized he was in a big trouble. Winston he said he has never been asked to prove his nationality because he has always seen himself as a British person. Imagine yourself, you were 6 years old when you came to the UK. The country that Winston left as a 6 years old, he has no connection to that country. After the arrest of Winston, Winston was then taken to court, and Winston thought it was a joke. Before you knew what was happening, Winston was served deportation order despite having indefinite leave to remain in the UK. Winston said when he was taken to deportation center in Heathrow, he said he tried to commit suicide several times. They are sending him to a country that he has no connection with, a country that he has never been to for many years. Winston said he tried everything to tell the authorities that you have the wrong person because you are not supposed to deport me because I am in this country legally. Winston then found himself, he was then deported to thousands of miles away, despite the plea of his lawyers and others that this is the wrong person you are deporting. This man is not supposed to be deported. The man then found himself in a country that he doesn't know. Winston said when he was deported, the people that in his home country, they were calling him English deportee because he doesn't sound like the local people anymore. He has a strong British accent. He said for many, many years, he and his lawyer, they have been fighting the authorities, say, look, this man is the wrong person that was deported. This man should not be deported back to his home country. Winston and his lawyer, they then instituted what is known as judicial review, asking the court to review Winston's deportation order. When Winston was deported back to his home country, the Home Office then placed a deportation order on his name, which means that he cannot return back to the UK. Let me know what your views are. Do you know anyone who has been wrongly deported? Is this something that is quite common? Let me know. Put your comment in the comment section. Winston has a lawyer who is very, very passionate. The lawyer cares deeply about him, and the lawyer then says they will take the case to the highest court in the land. Winston and his legal team, they then instituted judicial review. The case then went to court, and initially, while this case was in court, initially they said successive Home Office evidence have been presented to successive Home Office to say, look, this man is the wrong man. There are lots of people that came to the United Kingdom before the changes of 1983 who do not have proof of ID. This man is not supposed to be deported. That was how Winston then found himself. The case has gone to court now. It has reached the court. This man, as soon as the hearing was scheduled, that was when the Home Office last minute then came forward and said they are not going to contest the case anymore. The Home Office then acknowledged that it was a mistake to deport Winston. Winston said he has been in hell. He's been deported. He said he has been living on vegetable. He hasn't got any connection to the country he was deported to. Which he said the saddest part of it is that the people in his home country, they are calling him English deportee. Whereas in England, Winston is not regarded as an Englishman. This is a man who doesn't have any connection to the country that he was deported to. Meanwhile, he was deported from the country that he calls home. The Home Office have now said, now that they've acknowledged that they made a mistake, they now said they are going to issue Winston, they are going to revoke the deportation order, and they will then facilitate Winston's return back to the UK. They haven't given a date for this man, but they have acknowledged for once. This man, he said, they have ruined his life. He said he has been sleeping on the street in his home country. He has been feeding on vegetable, begging people to eat for many years. He said he has seen hell. He just wants to return back. Some people are saying that if Winston did not involve himself in shoplifting, that he will not have been in this ordeal. Why some people have said, even if the man involved in shoplifting, which is wrong, but the consequence is not to deport a wrong person. Some people are saying that this is part of the government hostile immigration policy. Do you agree? Some commentators have argued that if Winston wasn't a black man, that he would not have been deported if he were an American who was living in the UK illegally. Do you agree with that? Let me know what your views are. The sad reality is that after 47 years of living in the UK, when this guy came to the UK when he was only 6 years old, and this is the country he has called his home for many years, our brother Winston was deported, and now hopefully he will not have the opportunity to rebuild his life again. Let me know what your views are. If you have any story you want to share with us, you can reach us on the number at the back of this screen. And if you've seen any value in this content, kindly smash the like button and leave your comment in the comment section, whether you have any sympathy for our brother Winston, who was deported